Welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. I am super excited about today's episode for multiple reasons. One is this is our 200th episode, so I'm going to share with you everything that I've learned of what it's taken to get this far, the lessons learned. I'm also excited because we have a new intro and outro for the show. Our team put this together, and I'm really excited about it. And last but not least, I have one obvious but surprising kind of secret that I learned through the process of recording 200 episodes. So I'm really excited to share that with you. This whole week is about mindset. So let's dive right into it. All right. So like I mentioned in the beginning here, this is the 200th episode. If I can talk today, that'd be good too. But we are, I believe I started about 8 months ago. And when I first started the show, my goal was to make sure that I could show up every day and give you inspiration and support and resources and talk to you about all the things that I believe are required to really build your business. And at Business Marketing Engine, we believe that if you build your business in such a way that it's an engine, it's going to repeat itself. There's going to be processes. You can add more fuel. You can, trick out your engine. You can add resources to what you have, and it's going to allow you to really grow successfully. So we talk about things like DCT, which is destinations, content, and traffic. Those are the three major kind of pillars of services and categories that we offer, but it's also the three things that you need to think about as you're building your business. Destinations are, where are you going to drive somebody to? A landing page, your website? Are they going to check out your podcast? Are they going to be your social media? Is it going to be a web application or a CRM or something you've built? Wherever you need to send somebody, that's the first step. Content is how you brand yourself. You educate people. They get to know, like, and trust you through video, through blogging, through podcasting, through email marketing, direct mail, all those things. And then traffic related to all this as well, of course, is search engine optimization. Pay-per-click traffic like Google ads, Facebook ads, and many other platforms that we help our clients advertise on. And then traditional media like radio, TV, and direct mail, like I mentioned. Those are the three kind of main components that you'll need to grow your business. We talk about a lot of those things on the show. And one of the things that I've learned as I've gone through, recording, and this is the 200th episode, which is awesome. I really appreciate you being a part of the show and supporting us, is that for me, I know this lesson, and every time I start something new, I feel like I have to relearn the lesson. And that is that it really takes time to be successful. It takes time to get results. And I know that, and I always try to balance pushing hard for a target and a goal and getting results and getting engagement, and balance that with saying it's going to take as long as it takes, but as long as I show up every day, improve and get better, try to make improvements to the show of how we serve you and help you, try to make improvements to other things we're working on. If I show up every day and keep improving, then at the right time, things will work out. And what's been interesting is right around when we crossed the 150 episode mark, which I didn't really think it was going to take that long, but that's how long it took. Our engagement went way up. The length of time that people were listening to this show went way up. We went from a handful of people, listening all the way through and commenting, engaging, to now we're having 2 or 3 times, and in some cases 10 times the engagement and listenership on some episodes, which has been really fun. And we didn't make any major change. We just kept showing up. And so I think that's the first, secret of success that, is not a huge secret, but we like to forget it, is that if we're consistent in how we show up, that's what's going to make the biggest difference in the long run, because that allows you to learn. It also gives you time to engage with your audience, for them to trust you, to get to know you, and to, be at the point where yep, I'm going to comment or engage, or I'm going to listen to more episodes, or I'm going to reach out for help. And so we love not only having this show and having you be a part of it, but it's something we also love helping our clients with. So if you ever need help with that, you can always reach out. The other interesting thing that I learned is I started out by recording this every single day live, or streaming it live while we're recording. And I realized that it was really taxing for me from an energy standpoint to put this into my day, shift gears, and then show up and talk about the things that I love sharing. It was just, I always underestimate, even though I've been doing content creation for years, I always underestimate the focus and the energy that it takes to be in creative output mode. And so I'm not the only, person you probably hear this from, and I'm not the first one to do it by any means, but I realized that sitting down and batch recording the whole week of shows makes it way easier for me to show up and be present and focus. It also helps us tie the whole week together with a theme or, things that we're talking about. And so I would encourage you to look at how you're marketing and ask yourself, how can I batch things together and how can I have a consistent time each week? One of the things I'm super grateful for with Jethro is he saves this time for me every week. It's consistent. We show up. He produces everything in the background for me, and it's super easy to show up and just focus on, coming and serving you and helping you grow. So if you're not batching anything yet, then I would encourage you to look at the things that you're sporadically doing through the week and how do you compress them into one slot or maybe two slots, but it's not kind of an interruption to the rest of your workday, because content creation is really important. You need to be in front of people, because if you're not in front of them and building that awareness and building that relationship, virtually and with the content that's putting out there, they're not going to know about you when they get to the point of pain or need, and they're not going to know to reach out to you. So if we're consistent, we can win, but it's hard to be consistent when it's stressful or hard, or it's hard to juggle with the rest of our work, and our personal life. So batching things is really key. I remember years ago when I listened to John Lee Dumas, who runs the podcast Entrepreneur on Fire. And he told me how I ran into him at a conference and he talked about it there. And I was talking to him in person, and he told me that he recorded 16 or 20 episodes in one day, like on Monday. And I was like, oh my God, that seems like a marathon day. And he's like, yeah, it is. He's like, but then the rest of the week I'm free to work on the business and do other things. And it's that I'm not breaking up my day. And that was the first time I heard about it, but I didn't really apply it till recently. And it's been a game changer. So I love, getting into recording these, and then they're streamed out live every day. And then of course, Jethro and I are always watching seeing the live streams there so we can engage and reply back and comment and help you with any questions. And there are times we still do stream things live, but that was a really helpful move for me, because that creative energy is something that I think comes to us in spurts if we're not intentional about, batching time or blocking time for it. And so my great ideas, sometimes come late at night, or, when I'm out on a walk or when I'm driving and things like that. And that's when creative energy kind of flows naturally. But if we only have a tight slot during the day and we have to shift out of production mode or logical thinking or selling or coaching or helping our team or working on whatever projects we're delivering, then we have to shift to content creation, it can be kind of jarring and stressful. And so I feel like that was, a good realization, because it's not something completely new, but it was good to apply it here. And the last thing that kind of surprised me, like I mentioned in the intro, it surprised me and I relearned it. I've heard it, but even though I've heard it and I've done it a little bit, I've really learned this to be true on this show. And I want to share this with you too, is that you don't have to come up with an infinite amount of unique topics to talk about with your audience, because if you're willing to just cycle through the same types of things that you have conversations around every day with your clients and with, folks that you're working with and serving and prospects you're talking to and your team, you end up repeating yourself, which is fine. A friend of mine says leadership is repeating yourself until the last person in the room understands what you're talking about. I believe that George Bryant said that, one of my buddies. But when we repeat ourselves, we're actually serving our audience, even though at first it may seem boring. So I was kind of surprised by that. But I found that the more that I keep talking about how you need to be consistent with your email marketing, I've talked about it on the show multiple times, the more people get it and the more value they get from it. So it took the pressure off of me thinking I need to create this infinite amount of brand new, completely unique topics, when in reality, when I look back at the people that have coached me and mentored me and helped me, they keep reinforcing the same concepts. They tell a new, example about it. And then sometimes I'll be like, oh, I finally get it after they tell me like 10 times. So when you're creating content, whatever form it may be, and the marketing you're putting out there, remember that repetition is your friend. And no, don't run the same episode verbatim over and over, and don't put the same email out over and over. That would be spammy or weird. But realize that you can keep talking about different aspects of the same thing. And you can even repeat, the same kind of basic concepts each quarter, and you'll actually be serving your audience really well. And it will take that pressure off of you of thinking that you need to, create something brand new every time. So those were some of the big realizations. What I'd like to ask you too, do me a favor, is drop a comment down below and tell me, which episodes you've enjoyed the most, or what you like learning the most from the show, or what you want to learn more of. Because the other thing is, not only do you want to repeat things and serve your audience and help them, by consistently going over things multiple times, but I also want to be open to what else you need to know, because there may be some things that I'm not covering yet that I'd love to talk about. And so those are some of the big realizations that I've had as we've now recorded, this 200th episode, and we're sharing it with you. I'm really looking forward to sharing the rest of this journey with you. Of course, if you need help, reach out. All of this week, we're going to talk about some mindset things, some lessons I've learned, and just some things that have been happening over the last 6 months. So I appreciate you taking time to tune in. And as always, if you need help, you can reach us at businessmarketingengine.com, or you can comment down below or message me, and I'd be glad to help you out. Thanks for taking time to tune in today, and we'll see you tomorrow.